Hi everyone, and welcome to Calm Creations Craft Tube Floss Tube. My name is Tia, and today I am going to show you my slow stitch project that I've been working on. I know, I have 2 videos. Whew. Right. This slow stitching has really been so much fun, and I want to show you what I'm working on. So I've joined a challenge on Facebook, no not Facebook, on YouTube, and it is to make a cross stitch journal, but I'm not going to show you that today. That though has sparked me to go on and try other things, but the first thing that I'm going to show you is a slow stitch piece that I made. It was very quick, very easy, just to try and have a go at it to see whether I liked it or not. And that was to make a pin cushion. Now, yes, I didn't have a pin cushion, so this is the pin cushion that I made. And it was just a long rectangle piece of calico that I collaged a whole lot of fabrics on, and just embellished. I didn't overly embellish it because it's a pin cushion, so you don't want all the fancy stitches. So I've just done some French knots and a bit of running stitch, and put it together because I know I didn't have a pin cushion. So this just sits by my sewing machine, and it's just a roll, and I filled it with crushed walnut shells, and it was very easy to make and so much fun. And it was inspired by, oh, I can't think who it was now. I'll have to link it down below. I can't remember. In the Facebook group that I'm in for the stitching journal, one of the ladies had one in her video, and she linked to where she followed it from. So I'll do the same, but I can't remember the name of the lady. But anyway, this is my pin cushion. So I'll try and turn it over without everything shouldn't fall out. And that's the back. So I've done a little bit of seed stitch, and learning all these new stitches is so much fun. French knots and then just running stitch. So that's my little pin cushion. But what I'm going to show you today is I'm making a needle book. So I've got a couple of needle books, but this one is going to be a little bit different. But what I've got is, I got given like the biggest stash of craft supplies, from books to vintage buttons to magazines, a sewing machine, a vintage sewing machine, you name it, it was there. So it's my husband's friend's mother who is downsizing her craft room, and she has been so kind and given me just so much stuff, like thousands of magazines and books, and craft supplies. There's tapestries and wool and cross stitch kits, and you name it, it's in there. And I've been very grateful. So I've been through everything and sorted it out, and I found a couple of books that have been really useful for doing my slow stitch project. And the first one is the Complete Stitch Encyclopedia, and I don't know if you can see that. And so this one has been very, very useful, and it just goes through every single stitch you can think of. Now, I haven't been brave enough yet to try, well, there's over 700 of them, so I've only done a few of them so far, but this has been so helpful. Anyway, so I've been using that one, and then also an embroidery stitch guide. So this again is another book with lots and lots of pictures and how to do different stitches. So let me show you my my needle book that I'm working on. So, right, here it is. Oops, I've got the needle poking out there because I was sewing that little flower on. Now, slow stitching is all hand stitched. I'm predominantly doing everything hand stitched, but when I come to sew the pages in, it's going to be a fabric needle book. When I come to sew the pages in, I'm going to use my machine just so that I know that it's going to be secure. So this is how it's going to work. So this is the back, the inside, and it's going to open there, and that's the spine there. In this stash of things that I've been given, I've got a whole big box of vintage laces and trims, and it's just been perfect. So this is what I'm making. I have done some stem stitch and French knots. I stamped the words pins and needles and a little stamp of a spool on that piece of calico. So what it is, it's just backed on a piece of calico, and you just collage all your fabrics on, and I've basted everything on so that I can stitch it down. I've got some crochet trim on there, some vintage lace, some little flowers that I've been working on. I've done a whole heap of French knots, a whole lot of seed stitch, and so I'm just doing a little bit every day. I keep it in a basket and just working on it bit by bit. So I've got some other bits that I'll lay out and show you where I'm going to put them. So this little piece of flower is going to go, I think, up in here. I don't know if I'll go under that piece, but that will go there. Under there I've done a row of stem stitch. Those are chain stitch. Just done some cross stitches, some blanket stitch. You probably can't see, but I've gone around the edge of that circle with a, I think it's a back stitch. Some cross stitches. So that's going to go there. And then I found a buckle, a couple of buckles in the button stash. Now there were like, I don't know, 30 bags of different buttons and all in different colours. So I've gone through one of the bags of cream sort of coloured buttons and pulled some out that I think will go nicely with it. And what I'm thinking with the buckle, I don't know which one I'm going to use yet, but so when it's, I knew that was going to fall off. That's going to go there and then there. Where did that other bit go? There. That's going to go under there. That's going to close. And I was thinking of using one of these buckles somewhere. I don't know where. That goes that way. Maybe over here. I don't know. And having a piece of fabric or lace or trim or something to close it. So that's going to go there. Where are those other bits? I've got some more bits in here. I'm going to put some buttons down. I just found unusual shaped buttons. I don't know which way that goes. I suppose it can go either way. Some buttons there. And I had a little label somewhere. Don't know where that's gone, but anyway, I've got a little label to put down here that says handmade, and then so that's the outside cover. I think I may do a traditional quilting binding once the covers are all done, but oh, there's my label. That will go down there. So the pages, I'll show you the pages, how it's in my head, how it's going to work. They're going to be fabric pages. Don't know what that is. And I've stamped all the different types of needles so that I know what they are. So I've stamped them just on calico. So each page will be sort of laid out, you know, like this. And then what I'm going to do, so that's going to be essentially a page, is I've got some felt. So I'm just going to cut out some felt and do a running stitch, like a small square, and then my beads, my needles will go on the felt, and inside each, so that each page will be a piece of calico with some quilt batting inside, and then another layer of calico, and then this will be sewn on the outside. I'm going to be adding beads and all sorts to the cover. So I've got so many beads. I've got about, I don't know, 25 packets of, yeah, about 25 little boxes of these in all different colours, shapes, sizes. So I'm going to use some of those on the cover as well, and then also from my books be trying new stitches. So yeah, I'm just absolutely loving this process of just stitching. And you know, with slow stitching there are no rules. You just embrace the craft. You just you know, nothing has to be perfect. You don't worry about raw edges, and yeah, you just do whatever you feel you want to do. So that is my needle book that I'm working on, and I will try and do a video of the journal of stitchery that I'm working on. I've done the first, I think maybe 2 pages, so I haven't done an awful lot. I'm a bit behind. So every month they have on their Facebook group, they have a prompt, 2 things are drawn, and you do your pages based on the 2 prompts. But once I've done a bit more on that, I will share that with you. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed that little bit of insight into what I'm working on. So I will head off now. The kids will be up soon, and it's very early here, and get on with my day, and I will talk to you all again soon. Take care. Bye.